meantime, right now, we have Winsome Sears with us, the Republican Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. Virginia is kind of going back and forth on this notion of suspending the state gas tax. At least 3 states have already done that, but not as many as you would think. So, Lieutenant Governor, very good to have you. But what is your own view on this? Gas prices have been coming down over the last couple of weeks. They're still ridiculously high, but there's a pull and push in your state as to whether that tax should be rescinded for a while. Where are you on this?
Well, we ran on it, Neil. We told the voters exactly what we were hearing from them. They wanted the gas tax gone, if not at least delayed. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to fulfill what the voters told us that they wanted, and we're being stopped at every way possible.
Who's stopping it?
When you can see, I'm sorry?
Who's stopping you? Who's really trying to fight you on this?
Well, it would be the Democrats. The Democrats have other ideas on what they want to do. For example, they want to give a $50 refund to the people, and that's not going to work. And by the way, they only came to that conclusion after they saw that the voters wanted some relief from gas tax, and they saw what happened in California, that even if California can want to do something about this and exorbitantly high gas tax, then, they need to do something. It's not going to work. The people want what we have been telling them. They want relief. They're feeling it at the gas pump. They're feeling it in their food prices. They're feeling it everywhere. But you know what? Ultimately, we need to get to the source of all of this, and we need to get back to being net energy producers. That's what we need.
How do you make up, Lieutenant Governor, for the revenue you lose by even temporarily dropping that state gas tax? There are even some Republicans in your state who think that it could come back to hurt you if it means that revenue coming into the state is impacted in a severe way.
Well, there's always a push and a pull to everything.
Right.
But we believe that the right move right now is to give the people more money in their pocketbook because they're feeling it at the pump. Everybody is feeling it at the pump. No matter which way you go, it's going to hurt somewhere or the other. And we're looking at the less hurtful way. And our governor happens to believe that the way to do that is to give the people relief at the pump. They're paying this $26 a gallon, as you're seeing there. The federal rate is 18 cents, right. A little bit more than that per gallon. And we think that if we reduce ours, it's better.
I believe on the federal level, when they were talking about this, Governor, this notion of giving the money back to the people, there was a concern that it wouldn't be passed along to the people, that there's a delay effect, or, proprietors could delay getting that back, or maybe not give it back at all. And that kind of puts some lawmakers at the federal level to say, all right, we won't nix the federal gasoline tax for the time being. How do you feel about that?
Well, we believe it's more effective at the state level. The feds can do what they want. We have control here at the state level. And so it's higher. You see the gas tax, it's higher. At the state level, it's 26 cents. The federal, it's 18.7, I think, 18.4. So we need to stay within our realm of authority to get it done. The people are looking to us to get it done. They're telling us that's what they want. We were just elected 3-4 months ago. And so our message is the newer message. The Democrats were elected 3 years ago. Theirs is a 3-year-old message, and it's not working any longer. It's not going to fly.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Winsome Sears, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, a Marine Corps veteran, I might point out. Thank you, Governor.